I guess you understand now, my little fawn.
Go see Alex, girl. Yeah, why not?
After
Let's
all,
ride out.
Why not? Maybe he's right.
Is he?
Maybe I was just
Let's go see
wrong
Alex.
about all this. That wouldn't be the first time I screwed up. The three of us were so happy together. Maybe Alex and I can still be happy.
Yeah, can y'all? Can y'all be happy? You have so much good things to say about him. You know, why not? Why freaking not? What's this? Ooh, are we in
You know, my
Africa?
little fawn, in life, you only have two ways out.
Oh,
Either
that's
escaping
on TV.
or disappearing. But sometimes you're unable to disappear. And escaping from yourself, well, that sure ain't easy.
Yeah, I definitely was not catching that.
So, when that happens, in your opinion, what's left to do?
Not smoke a
We can try
cigarette.
to find out together if you want.
Not smoke a cigarette. That's the last thing you need to do. Wow, look at the skyrise. Oh, snap, it's gonna mess out of me. Ooh, go back. I missed something. I missed something.
When Diane and I were little, Mary would tell us bedtime stories. She would make up animal fables with all kinds of mystery and conflict. Savage world, she called it. Female wolves, bears, or scorpions would find themselves in imminent danger, but they could always manage it on their own, swindling and betraying the boorish, idiotic males. Mary wanted us to be strong, courageous, and independent women, except it also made me a bit fearful of the world.
Hey, you can't be afraid all the time. You gotta live. Live and let go. Unfortunately. I know it's a scary world out there. There's too much crazy stuff's happening. So I understand why people are paranoid.
Alex gifted me most of these books. It started as a joke.
Nice.
But as time passed, there were more and more.
More and
Every
more?
time I had an issue, Alex would find the book to address it. Some of the
Nice.
worst titles, too. How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, Who Moved My Cheese? I was reading them casually, but they still helped me move on. Alex would call it the emergency library. Every problem has a book, he said.
He sounds really thoughtful and considerate.
When I found myself alone, the library didn't work anymore.
Touche. Touche. At least it kept me company for a little bit. Ooh. I'm trying to click it. Let me click
At
it.
first, I stayed in the apartment for days. I wouldn't go outside. I barely recognized my own voice when I opened the door for food deliveries. I could have disappeared. No one would have known.
Now that's really
amid
depressing.
the silence, if you listen carefully, you can hear some things. The air traveling through the lungs, the bowels gurgling, the teeth grinding, even a heart beating.
Smoking a cigarette. No. Dependent.
That much is clear now. In fact, Alex and Marie are like two sides of the same coin for me.
Okay, let me know more about Alex.
Was my crutch, my unwavering support. I came to believe that I would crumble without him.
That's what I need in my life.
Was a model of strength, of courage, and determination. Everyone admires her, but she is completely unattainable. And I was dependent on her as much as him. Unable to manage on my own, but that was before. I guess you understand now, my little fawn. Your dad and I separated. And for the first time in my life, I was living alone. At 34 years old, I had no idea how to do that. And he didn't fix everything. But come to think of it, it may be the reason I began looking for who I really was.
Is that letting me? Okay, there it goes. I haven't had to do something else. I have to do something else out here. Is there anything else I need to do? Okay, so rewind. Let's go back over here. Oh, this is so trippy! Anything else I need to do? Anything else? Anything else? Oh, I see something. There goes. Girl.
I lived surrounded with cardboard boxes for months. I was unable to open them. It was physically impossible, but it didn't bother me much. I've never been a homemaker anyway. Also, if I had an off day, I could always blame it on those boxes.
Oh no, that's right, ethnic boxes.
Instead of blame it on the life that was put away in those boxes.
Maybe like Jamie Foxx said, blame it on the alcohol. Blame it on the
I think I just figured out why I love movies so much. When I was a teenager, my life didn't seem real. I couldn't say for sure that I existed, but in movies, people had pure and intense emotions. I loved that. Any fiction was a documentary to me. When I found myself alone, I fell back into that zone. I watched hundreds of movies, obscure comedies, blockbusters, absurd schlock. I was looking for a template that would explain to me how to feel. Except it didn't work this time. I needed more. From the day you died, I had been sleeping a lot. I was still tired when I woke up, but at least it passed the time. Then everything changed. Sleeplessness kicked in. I spent my nights trying to understand, what am I still doing here?
You got a purpose. You still got more work to do. Your work is not over.
Do you remember this cup? Every morning you would drink your hot cocoa from it. I had to take it out of the dishwasher so many times. You wanted nothing else. It was in a box for a while. I thought about it sometimes when I thought about you. It was there. One day I pulled it out of one of the boxes. I wanted a hot cocoa, and it slipped out of my hands.
Ugh. I know you felt awful.
My heart skipped a beat in that moment. I held my breath for 1 second.
Oh, that's so sad.
Nothing. I just picked up the pieces one by one and threw them in the garbage. I wondered whether I was a monster for not feeling devastated. But now I know that I'm not. I was tired of being sad. Tired.
Fair enough.
I stayed strong. And it turns out that being able to do that changed everything. That day I realized that I was strong and that I could do it alone. then I understood. I turned on my computer and I started typing. Not a soap opera episode like I was writing before you died. It was something personal. And I think it was important.
And why was it
I
important?
was surprised to feel the desire to write, but now I understand how priceless it was. It allowed me to switch roles. I was no longer the grieving mother, or the young divorcee, or the daughter of. I was writing. I was becoming an author. I was inventing a reality that was just as valid as another.
All right, let's go zoom out.
You know, I was telling the truth earlier when I said that there were only two ways out in life. But whether you escape or disappear, in the end you're doing the same thing. Now I understand that I had to find another way. And complete solitude allowed me to face the void and to rewrite myself. It was the only way for me to change completely, from the ground up.
Don't you want everything to be just like before?
I wish.
Alex and I can reinvent ourselves. I know that we can. But that's going to require a lot more work. I would love for things to work out that way, Alex. Just like in the movies.
Me too,
But
I want
the
this for
scene
y'all.
when they get back together, the happy end, we all know that's not happening.
Oh, that's so sad.
Too bad. You're at least as sexy as Ryan Gosling.
Hey!
Yeah. And I definitely have better abs.
I noticed that the
All
other
right.
day. Is that
Come on,
new?
confidence.
See? You're missing out.
Oh, the Rizzler.
I'm sorry things ended the way they did between us. I left because I was losing my bearings. And I felt like you were also going off track. You know, trying to convince us that we would be okay.
I was trying to help you.
That's the problem.
Loki couldn't have, cause it's like a mental thing. She was going through a depression.
You couldn't have. I was too sad. I was unable to listen. I couldn't keep leaning so much on you. I couldn't stand it. I had reached a breaking point. If I didn't make a big change, I would have... But I was not allowed to die.
Self-deletion.
I had no right. So I tried living. All the people who matter to me have something in common. They all taught me that I could live without someone else.
Dang. That sounds kind of
Marie
sad.
taught me that I could live without a father.
Dang.
That I could exist as a woman in a world created for men. But she
Okay,
never
touche.
taught me what it was like to be loved.
Ah, see? Piece of the puzzle's missing.
Alex taught me that I could live without Marie. All of a sudden, I was worth more than I thought, and she much less than I thought. But what he loved the most about me was that he could be there for me. I don't hold it against him. We are who we are. He loved me, but he didn't help me love myself.
How are he going to help you love yourself? You have to do that. You have to put in the work to do
And
that,
then
girl.
You were there. And you taught me the most important thing. You taught me that I could live, even without Marie, even without Alex,
What about Alex, hey?
even without you. Without you.
You know, I changed too.
I believe you, Alex.
So don't you think it may be a good time to try again?
We can't try again if we're strangers to each other.
Wow. That's a Nobel Wisdom Prize right there.
That's not even a thing.
Exactly.
You know... Oh, I don't know if I should tell him this, but